50 Tzu Chi volunteers come to clean the home of a senior citizen suffering a stroke in Changhua. The Dalin Tzu Chi Hospital in Chiayi County gets ready to celebrate its 20th anniversary. I'm Sean Scanlan. This is DaAi Headlines. Let's get started. In Changhua, Mr. Lin lives alone without running water. He suffered a stroke and is unable to clean his home. His daughter asked Tzu Chi volunteers for help. As a result, 50 volunteers came to help the Lin family.
He doesn't have running water, and I feel quite helpless about it. So I thought maybe Tzu Chi can help my father. We need to maintain contact with them and slowly make friends. It might take us 3 times to convince them that we can help. The seniors most always warm up to us. Thank you everyone for coming. We have some safety concerns to pass on. Everyone should take note that there are tall weeds in the front and the back of the house.
We're clearing away the weeds at the front and over there. There are too many weeds here and at the back. We're just cleaning it up a little.
During the cleanup outside, someone was injured, while those cleaning up inside are having a tough time as well.
I let my ancestors know that there will be people here today cleaning.
Thank you, Tzu Chi brothers and sisters, for your help. Thanks to you, the place has improved vastly. It's something that I could not have done by myself.
Due to the spread of COVID-19 in the Philippines, a TIMA doctor has quarantined herself. However, she still teleconsults her patients with eye problems 6 days a week. Here's more.
Doktor ako sa mata. Ngayong pandemic, tumitingin ako ng mga pasyente gamit ang aking online eye clinic.
Dr. Margarita Bondoc Hermosa's online consulting was born due to the spread of COVID-19.
Hello, ako po si Dr. Maui. So, ano nga po ulit mami concern niyo sa mata? I'm staying with my family, tapos yung parents ko, senior citizens na, and I wanted to make sure na I don't carry the virus into our home. So I decided to stay home.
Staying at home to protect her family members, Dr. Maui, as she's known to her patients, is still very much thinking about others who may need her help.
Dami-daming naghihirap or diba na.
Many of the patients have lost their jobs due to COVID-19. So how can I just think about myself when they need me the most?
Parang ipagkakait sa kanila yung health nila.
Since March, she has conducted online eye checks by appointment on Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Her appointments are always filled, and when she needs to, she will also send prescriptions to the patients for them to receive medication. For those who can afford to pay, she donates their payment to Tzu Chi. Meanwhile, for those who cannot afford to pay, she doesn't charge them anything. Dr. Maui has been volunteering at Tzu Chi free clinics since she was a resident doctor. This is what she has said about being a doctor with Tzu Chi back in 2015.
As a doctor, definitely one of the things that Tzu Chi has taught me is to be generous with my time, to share myself with others, and especially using my skills to help heal people.
During this COVID period, Dr. Maui remains firm to her initial aspiration, ensuring her time generously by conducting telemedicine and seeing patients online.
In Malacca, Malaysia, Tzu Chi scholarship recipient has been encouraged by Tzu Chi volunteers to do recycling and make home visits. As she sees other families' difficulties, she has learned to cherish her blessings.
Doing recycling to pay back to society is a way for Tzu Chi scholarship recipient Go Jingwen to express her gratitude.
I appreciate Tzu Chi sisters for bringing me to do recycling and meeting new friends. I've learned to recycle and reuse the Earth's resources.
Go Jingwen's father does not have a high income, and he often cannot afford his 4 children's education expenses. He faces life burden as 2 children with special needs require extra care and education.
I have low income, so I sought help from Tzu Chi.
The most important task is to change their lives and change their fate. If you are well educated, you can find a good job and then change the family's financial situation.
On the day of home visits, volunteers bring Go Jingwen along in order to give her a lesson on life.
We want to show them that other families are suffering more than them.
The strength of education can change one's fate. Volunteers hope Go Jingwen can pursue a brighter future.
In Fengyuan District, Tzu Chi volunteers visited 15 families to make their homes safer. One of the households was 6-year-old Mr. Lin, who suffered a stroke, making every trip to the restroom a difficult journey.
The head of the community, along with Tzu Chi volunteers, visited Mr. Lin, who has been laying in bed for over 5 years due to a stroke. As Mr. Lin is unable to move by himself, his wife takes care of his daily life. Yet, it is quite difficult for her to help him take bath and go to restroom.
She needs to take him in and see him here for washing. She has to pull the wheelchair up, and it's very uncomfortable for her to scoop water like this in the long run. If there is a shower head here, things will be much easier.
After discussion, an accessible ramp and a shower head are needed. Volunteers started to measure the dimensions of the restroom.
We have to take this part out and make the ramp here.
Tzu Chi initiated the home visit activity in the Wongshe community of the Fengyuan District. 80 volunteers visited 15 disadvantaged families, solving their short-term needs.
It's either a solitary elderly or a couple or disabled. Through this activity, we walk into the community, helping the elderly, letting them move with ease, and improving their safety.
Although the vacation period is limited, the young person that joined in took her chance to aid the community.
I can see a lot through this, to see how old people live and realize that I'm blessed to be in my situations. This made me cherish it more.
Tzu Chi volunteers walked into the community, bringing warmth and hope to disadvantaged families.
In Taichung's Beitou district, a 77-year-old elder is wheelchair-bound. He is one of the 921 affected households and relies on government subsidies. His son passed away last year, and Tzu Chi volunteers installed guard rails in his bathroom. Here's more.
The mountain that Mr. Lim lives in is enormous and complex. If it wasn't for the guidance of the neighborhood leader, it would be tough to find Mr. Lin.
This house crumbled during the great earthquake of September 21st. There used to be a courtyard-style house there, but it collapsed, and now a new home is set up.
The couple lived in poor economic situation as their 40-year-old son passed away due to heart disease.
Myocardial infarction seems to be the cause of my son's death. I feel so sad and hurt. Even sending him to the hospital didn't save him.
Mr. Lin received dialysis for years, his left leg losing strength, causing him to use a wheelchair to travel in the household. While going to the restroom, he has to grip the door tightly. While he uses the toilet, he has to grip the tiles near the window along with the sink. Showering is also dangerous. Measuring, making marks, and after a while, the place is different. Before entering, a guardrail allows a safe grip. The L-shaped rail on the wall brings safety while using the sink. The guardrail near the window prevents slipping. The bathroom is no longer a dangerous place, but a safe zone.
Dailn Tzu Chi Hospital, which was inaugurated August 13, 2000, will soon celebrate its 20th anniversary. Looking back at the history, Dharma Master Zheng Yan has spent 5 years searching for a suitable location. In our next report, we will look back at the hospital's early days and how the hospital serves remote areas.
There was a young mother in Dalin who vowed to donate land to help Tzu Chi build offices so that Dalin residents can listen to Dharma Master Zheng Yan's teachings. When the master went to Dalin for the first time in 1990, people told her that Yunlin and Chiayi lacked large hospitals.
If people had serious illnesses, they needed to go to Linkou or Kaohsiung Chang'an Memorial Hospitals. The master's heart went to the patients. After she checked the statistics, she found that in Taiwan, Yunlin and Chiayi are most in need of hospitals.
The master has wanted to build hospitals in remote regions. After searching for the suitable location, groundbreaking and construction, on August 13, 2000, Dailn Tzu Chi Hospital was inaugurated. The most important medical professionals also came.
Dalin is located in the countryside. Therefore, I really respect Dr. Lin, Deputy Superintendent Dr. Jian, and Superintendent Dr. Lai and other doctors for their willingness to come serve.
The first superintendent, Dr. Lin Junlong, has shouldered heavy responsibilities. He insisted on promoting medical culture that values humanitarianism.
We set up good role models in medical practice. The medical culture is focused on patients. We do our best to meet the patient's needs. We still need to work hard.
Dr. Jian Shouxing has followed Dr. Lin Junlong from Hualien to Dalin and served as deputy superintendent and the second superintendent at Dailn Tzu Chi Hospital. Looking back at the 20 years of service, Dr. Jian appreciates all the medical professionals' contribution.
Back then, I only thought that operating such a hospital and serving residents in this area would be more difficult than serving patients in the big cities. However, with everyone's hard work, we have achieved a lot in terms of medical expertise. There are so many touching medical stories, which really amaze people.
Dalin native Jin Reitan has wished to practice medicine in his hometown. As an orthopedics doctor, he helped ankylosing spondylitis patients straighten their bodies and found treatment for cervical spondylosis, attracting patients to Dailn Tzu Chi Hospital.
I'm grateful that for 20 years, Dalin Tzu Chi Hospital has allowed me to accumulate experiences and hone my skills. In the future, we need to continue to do what other people do not dare to do and solve patients' problems.
Shortly after Dalin Hospital was inaugurated, in 2002 it set up Dapu Medical Station in the mountain regions. Currently, Dr. Lin Yinglong is stationed there, being on call for 24 hours. Dr. Lin Yinglong, who's 73 years old, has willingly gone to the mountains to safeguard the health of the local residents. He has turned from a checkup expert to expert in treating external injuries. This particular patient has been bitten by a boar.
I've been here for 4.5 years, and I've sutured the wounds of 175 patients. Some of them had dire conditions and their lives were in danger.
Dapu residents trust the doctor at the medical station because he's like the guardian angel for the local residents.
I really appreciate Dalin Tzu Chi Hospital for setting up the medical station there. There are some areas that the government has a hard time reaching, but with their assistance, the medical care network can do a better job.
Dalin Tzu Chi Hospital has safeguarded the local residents' health for 20 years. In the future, it will reach more corners of the community and serve more people in need.
The first hour after a heart attack is the most critical moment. For 20 years, a special cardio team at Dalin Tzu Chi Hospital has achieved amazing results. Here's more.
67-year-old Jiang Yongyong, on the 9th day of the Lunar New Year in 2020, experienced sudden chest pain and a cold sweat.
Why my body kept on trembling like this? My heart here was very painful.
When he first arrived at the emergency unit, he had lost consciousness already. The doctors immediately helped him to do first aid and undergo electrocardiogram. He was suspected to have myocardial infarction, so we asked cardiac surgeons to place an ECMO machine in his heart to stabilize his life.
After placing the ECMO and undergoing cardiac catheterization surgery, his life was saved, but his heart was severely damaged, and its contraction function was only remained to be a quarter of a normal person. Therefore, the doctor arranged a 7-week enhanced external counterpulsation therapy to improve his cardiac muscle metabolism and its function.
It has two benefits. One is to increase the systemic blood circulation, while the other is to increase the perfusion of the coronary arteries so as to enhance the coronary blood flow.
The medical personnel took care of me like a baby when I was about to die.
The death rate will increase by 7.5% for every 30 minutes of delay in treating acute myocardial infarction. The heart rescue team of Dailn Tzu Chi Hospital has been consistent for 20 years, racing against time to rescue every critical life.
Many people drink a cup of milk a day, but have you heard that drinking milk can protect your stomach? Let's see what the experts have to say.
Milk is fortified with calcium and protein. It's good for the body, and on the internet there are statements saying it helps form a lining for the stomach, which may protect the stomach. But is this true? From a
gastrointestinal point of view, drinking milk does not form a protective film for the stomach. People who suffer from stomach problems or stomach acid will feel only temporary relief from drinking milk. Milk has a lot of protein, and for the stomach to digest that, it takes a lot of effort, which will form even more stomach acid. Those with stomach ulcers or duodenal ulcers should avoid consuming large amounts of milk, as digesting milk will produce more stomach acid, which will inflame the stomach lining. Cigarettes, alcohol, and betel nut are all harmful to our intestinal tract, so if you have a tendency to use these items, you should quit the habit. Another habit to stop is frequent pain medication, as long-term use of this can harm the stomach and liver. Pain medications are to be used as little as possible. The doctor reminds us that there are many food ingredients which may claim to protect the stomach, but in actuality, if you eat a balanced diet, take in proper exercise, and avoid habits which harm the stomach, then your gut can be healthy just as it is.
Chen Pei-jen, a 34-year-old single mother in Kaohsiung, worked as a plumber in the capital Phnom Penh, Cambodia. As a single mother in Taiwan now, she wants to reverse the stereotype that all plumbers are men. Here's more.
The little girl is holding her mommy, following her mommy tightly to wherever it is. There are no toys to be seen but still. The mummy's arms are not just for the little girl. She's not afraid of carrying heavy objects or enduring bad smell. She even doesn't mind to wear a long girly outlook.
I cannot appear well with makeup in the construction site because I would totally look like an auntie. Haha, I have had acrylic nails before, but then when I took a wrench or something, my acrylic nails were livid. After that, I won't do acrylic nails anymore.
Chen Peizhen loves to adore herself but never does acrylic nails anymore. After finishing training in vocational training center, the first case she received made her almost retreated.
After pumping it up, we need to go down and change the motor because it was damaged. So we went down to change it. When I went up, I found that my whole body was the worst.
Chen Peizhen's whole body will get dirty and sometimes hurt. This is her work at a construction site under the sun. She always brings with her 2-year-old little girl to work. The daughter looked up to her. Her father, who was a plumber, was about to retire 7 years ago. At that time, she and her brother decided to apply for a class offered by the Ministry of Labor. They agreed to allow Peizhen to go to the construction site in Cambodia first to pave the way for their work. But because of the car accident, her brother could not go there.
At the month my brother passed away, I just went to Phnom Penh, and then he told me that, sister, I'm sorry, just a moment. I go to Phnom Penh together and earn US dollars. Yes, I need to move forward to live for him because I need to achieve his dream.
金边的舞剧感言热，很热，非常非常热。电线杆、蜘蛛网真的很夸张，超傻眼，难以整理。查找线路有困难。这个源头是通到哪一户的住家里面呢？蓝色线这个我们进度什么时候会？大概预计什么时候会好？
When I went there 7 years ago, I really felt that my life was extremely difficult.
She has to take care of both manpower and construction site issues. There are not many people who can help her.
Having developed her career, she had another wish to help her single mothers like her.
I will choose to work at female single dormitories or female buildings. It's more trustworthy for female residents to ask a female plumber to help. They will feel safer. Five or two females go out for repairing, and the remaining one stays here to look after children. I'm also a single mom. In the future, what we want to establish is a woman team.
With positive attitude like sunshine, Chen Peizhen walked out from the dark side of domestic violence, becoming a single mother. From being looked down by others to setting up her own career, she will continue to move forward bravely for her 2 daughters.
Tzu Chi volunteers from Kaohsiung held a special tea packaging event. Many were so impressed by the special tea container that they will keep it as a family heirloom, passing it down generation to generation. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.